Jay, like, you go look at his company, how the guys he came up around.
Absolutely.
It's built off of integrity. People that came up, everybody ain't gonna make it in any situation. All that day one shit, all your day ones in there, do it.
We're honored that this is officially the announcement of the Meek Mill Dream Chasers label, and we're so excited to be a part of it.
You know, we've been working and we've been building this relationship and this brand for forever, and we just really making it official. We just keep expanding on what we're doing. So it's just another chapter in what we're doing.
It's 2020, y'all. Yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a Black Billionaires lunch. Yeah. You understand? Right. And we here together, and we're gonna keep staying together. We getting tighter.
We try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today.
So it looks like Meek Mill is out here defending Jay-Z, and he's claiming that the lawsuit where Jay is named alongside Diddy by a 13-year-old victim is all a setup and a calculated attack. But let's be real, Meek is not looking good trying to cover for Jay, especially since Jay doesn't even seem to care about him at all. At one point, Meek was signed to Roc Nation's management, and Jay was seen as a mentor to him, and they even advocated for his prison reform together. Everything seemed solid between them, but as time went on, things started to go south. When Meek was released from prison after serving time on a controversial probation violation, reports were claiming that Jay-Z was instrumental in helping Meek get out. But then just a year later, things took a turn. Meek and Roc Nation seemed to be having some tensions behind the scenes, and Meek eventually announced he was no longer working with them. And then after Meek started getting dragged into all these allegations about Diddy, Jay-Z quietly washed his hands of Meek and left him hanging. Jay-Z hasn't backed Meek in any real way, so the fact that Meek is now bending over backwards to defend Jay is just making Meek look sad and desperate to stay relevant in a game that's clearly moved on without him.
So me following that path, this off subject, me following that path, I ain't gonna be popping pills if I'm trying to make it the billionaire status, because I never seen a billionaire that pop pills, really. I never seen that with my own eyes, so I ain't gonna try to follow that path.
Meek Mill's story with Roc Nation started back in 2012 when he signed a management deal with Jay-Z's Roc Nation, fresh off the success of his early mixtapes and his debut album, Dreams and Nightmares. At the time, it seemed like a major move for Meek. Roc Nation had been home to some of the biggest names in hip-hop and entertainment like Rihanna, J. Cole, and of course, Jay-Z. This was the ultimate cosign for Meek, and it seemed like the perfect platform for him to take his career to the next level.
And, you know, I feel comfortable doing business right here at home, who I started with, really, in the music industry. And, you know, we're ready to work. We're just starting the beginning of a new chapter, a new page.
Now, we can't ignore the fact that Meek was Jay-Z's protege, and their bond was more than just business. Jay-Z became something of a mentor to Meek, and for a while, Meek's role under Roc Nation was just to be the next big thing. He had everything he needed to rise to the top, from top-tier industry connections to a mentor who had navigated every corner of the music game. Also, back in 2017, when Meek found himself back in prison for violating probation, Jay-Z was publicly vocal about how messed up the system was, and he put his full weight behind getting Meek released. He even wrote an op-ed in the New York Times calling for Meek's release and criminal justice reform. This was a major moment for both Meek and Jay-Z. Jay went all in for Meek, making sure the world knew he was fighting for his freedom. Fans and celebrities alike rallied around Meek, calling for his release. It became a whole movement, and once Meek was out of jail in April 2018, Jay-Z and Roc Nation helped him get his life back on track. And then in 2019, Meek and Jay-Z joined forces to launch a prison reform initiative alongside several other billionaires, including Michael Rubin and Robert Kraft.
Every time I started to further my life, every year or two, it was something that always brought me back to ground zero, and it was probation. And I always wondered what happened to the people that was in situations worse than mine. I'm here to speak for the people who don't have a voice.
He and Jay-Z are joining forces with the owners of major sports teams, pledging $50 million to create the Reform Alliance.
I'm from RC Projects, I'm from Brooklyn, and this has been a part of my life. You know, if someone commits a crime, they should go to jail. But these things are just disproportionate, and the whole world knows it.
This problem is so much bigger than Meek, that fundamentally, our criminal justice system is just broken. People always say to me how lucky Meek is to have me as his friend. I look at it exactly the opposite. I couldn't feel more fortunate to have Meek is one of my closest friends because he's taught me so much about a world I didn't understand at all.
I'd never been to jail before, and going there and seeing him, I didn't sleep the rest of the night. We can make America better if we really cure this problem.
But what we didn't know at the time was that Meek was already starting to feel some type of way about his relationship with Roc Nation. It became clear in interviews and social media posts that Meek wasn't happy with how things were going behind the scenes. There were rumors about him feeling controlled and not getting the level of support he expected from the company, especially considering how much Roc Nation had gained from Meek's legal battles. The issue, according to Meek, was not just about the music, but about business and the way Roc Nation handled his image and career. Apparently, Meek started feeling like he was being used as a pawn in Roc Nation's greater game. The way Jay-Z positioned himself as Meek's advocate during his prison time was a huge PR win for Jay. Not only was he able to flex his influence in the industry, but it also gave him and Roc Nation some major headlines during Meek's struggle. But Meek felt like he wasn't getting paid for the amount of exposure and publicity his situation was bringing to Roc Nation. Jay and Roc Nation were benefiting from the media attention and the Free Meek Mill movement, but Meek wasn't seeing a cut of that clout, and that didn't sit right with him. So in mid-2022, Meek decided to cut his losses and officially parted ways with Roc Nation. Meek said at the time, "I'm personally handling my own business so I can take risks and grow." We came to that agreement together. But after Meek parted ways with Roc Nation, he started hinting that he felt blackballed in the industry. Meanwhile, things started to feel different between Meek and Jay. Jay-Z's silence on Meek's exit from Roc Nation spoke volumes, and although he later denied they had a falling out, several industry insiders claimed differently. One of them was Bobby Shmurda, who claimed Roc Nation was behind some of the messy rumors about Meek Mill's relationship with Diddy. During a recent interview on the Danza Project, Shmurda suggested that when Meek decided to part ways with Roc Nation in July 2022, it set off a whole smear campaign against him. And that's when those weird clips with Diddy started popping up left and right.
I'm gonna tell you what's going on with Meek. I left with a team that Meek was on. Meek left that team, and they leave that team. They come for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta understand everything in a relationship is like a relationship with these labels, right? And leaving like a girl with a lot of power. And like you could have gave her that power. You giving that girl some good, right? But she has a lot of money and a lot of power. She's gonna try to make your life a living hell. Yeah. And anything that she's gonna. And if we own the internet. That we're gonna spread all the rumors about you. I'm gonna put 1,000, 3,000 comments making jokes. I'm gonna pay for 3,000 comments whenever you post. All about it. And my is like, it's not even. I tell Meek, it's not even Meek. It's not even that they doing it, bro. They gonna do it. They try to call me gay. Most like, come on, for real. Be serious. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even that. I'm not even mad at them doing it. It's be the that believe it.
And then Meek himself recently hinted that there's an organized campaign to bring him down because he decided to be an independent artist. After Diddy's former producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit against Diddy back in February, Meek's relationship with Diddy came back into the spotlight. And that's because Lil Rod alleged that Diddy bragged about sleeping with multiple men in the industry, including a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Now, instead of flat out denying he was involved with Diddy, Meek went on this wild rant on X claiming someone was trying to ruin him because he's an independent artist. After DJ Academic shared parts of Lil Rod's lawsuit where Meek is mentioned in the footnotes, Meek clapped back saying, "Now y'all see how bad they want to stop you when you drop independent music that's going to get played regardless and make millions. A whole campaign the day before I drop. I be crushing through this internet too easy." And then in another post, Meek directly threatened Academic saying, "Academics, didn't I tell you to stop playing with my name? I don't know what I'm going to do when I actually see you. It's going to have a combination to it though." But Meek didn't stop there. He also shared a bunch of posts talking about how much he loves women and only women. This man said, "When I got a girl around me, I'm doing her twice a day. LOL. Ask some of your favorites. P don't control me, but it's like a high. One love to the gay people, but that juicy P do it for me. I done ran red lights to get that feeling. Y'all weird on here like devils, LOL." But Meek's posts were given trying too hard, and it only made people clown him even more. And this is why it's wild to see Meek Mill now jump into Jay-Z's defense in light of those serious allegations about Jay graping a 13-year-old with Diddy, especially with all the rumors that Roc Nation might have had a hand in spreading those messy rumors about Meek and Diddy. So if there's even a chance that Roc Nation threw dirt on Meek's name, why is he even out here riding for Jay like this? Something is off, and fans are already dragging Meek for even commenting on this situation. One day after news broke that Jay-Z was named in that disturbing lawsuit, Meek hopped on X to say this: "The goal is to start false narrative to create a matrix web. If you can control the storyline, you can control the matrix. American media is totally unbelievable. I see Jay-Z, a 13-year-old girl, 300 time scrolling. It's called programming. But why is Meek even inserting himself into this conversation? What makes it even weirder is how one-sided this loyalty seems. Jay-Z has been silent about Meek for a while now, and he didn't even step up publicly to address Meek being named in that Diddy lawsuit filed by Lil Rod. Meanwhile, Meek is out here defending Jay against some pretty serious accusations and implying it's all an orchestrated attack. It's like Meek is still holding on to this idea of Jay as his mentor, even though the relationship clearly isn't what it used to be. For someone who felt used and allegedly blackballed by Roc Nation, it's strange and honestly kind of sad to see him going so hard for Jay when the support isn't mutual. And as you can imagine, the responses to Meek's post defending Jay were not what Meek was hoping for. Someone said, "We ain't forget you was at Diddy's parties being knocked between washing machines." One fan added, "Jay-Z was close friends with R. Kelly, Diddy, and Harvey Weinstein. But now there's suddenly no way he could be a predator. LMFAO." And then another one wrote, "You were just laughing at Drake when he sued for defamation for being called a PDF file. Now you talking about programming when it comes to Jay? It's hard to take you serious." But what's your take on this situation with Meek? Why do you think he's so quick to defend Jay-Z after all the drama with Roc Nation? Do you think Meek is being loyal, or is he just trying to stay on Jay's good side for some reason? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure you stick around for this next video.